My name's Jimmy.
What's up, you guys? Jimmy here, back at you with another review for Gotham Season 2. And this is the 6th episode titled By Fire. Which, this episode, I would have to say, best one yet this season. And just like I've said for the past episodes, it has not disappointed me yet. So, it continues on that improvement for this season. Which, first I'd like to start off talking about not the things I hated, but just things I didn't care too much for. First being the stuff between Kristen Kringle and Edward Nygma, which it didn't matter to me whether they got together or not, because it really wasn't a couple thing that I wanted to see or not. But, he overhears what she wants from him, and he gives it to her. And also telling her the truth about what happened last season. I'm yelling in my head, in what world did you think that she was going to be okay with this? Because she acts like any normal person would. She was scared as hell. And she even threatened the police on him. But to top it all off, when he tries to explain it to her, he puts his one hand on her throat and another hand over her mouth, trying to explain it and pretty much suffocating her, and she dies. I'm sorry, you don't have to be a doctor. You don't have to be a coroner to know that she was suffocating. So, I'm just like, in that moment, I'm like, what an idiot. That's all I'd like to say on that. Because, I always thought of Riddler from the comics as this sophisticated, intelligent villain. Not so much of a psychopath that is going a little cuckoo in the head. But, who knows what they have planned for the future of the Riddler. And I'd like to see it because of what we thought was the Joker, but ends up not being. Because Joker, it's like there were those people that hated him. But this season, people loved him. So who knows? Maybe they'll give us reasons to care more about Riddler, or at least me, because everyone has their own opinion on things. But the other thing would have to be the stuff between Butch trying to work for Theo Gallivan, which he kind of is a little bit noticeable with trying to sneak around to find out where Penguin's mother is. And not only did Theo catch him pretty much, but he pretty much knew from the get-go. But it's not Butch's fault that he's an idiot. It's because of that brainwashing Zsasz did on him back in Season 1. So, it's kind of Penguin's fault. Right there. Which, I guess, it's family. You would kind of overreact on things. But you should have thought it through more. That's what I'd like to say. So, I guess you could say Penguin was starting to become an idiot in this episode as well. But the thing I like the most is that we got our first full-on appearance of Gotham's incarnation of Firefly, which her name is Bridget Pike, which she comes from like an adoptive family, like more of like her mother died and they just took her in. Which I have to say, I feel bad for the stuff that she had to go through. And in the episode, you don't really see her go too much into being a villain by choice, but more of, she needs the money. And at the very end, it seemed like she was trying to do a hero-ish thing, but in the process, she is killing people. So, I mean, she could have just scared them out and let the police handle them. I mean, but at the end, it almost, and I was pretty much trying to predict this with it in the episode itself. I'm like, oh, she's gonna die, but she ends up burning herself to death, which I'm not sure if this happened in the comics, but I know in Arrow, Garfield Flynn's, the original Firefly, had been badly burned. I'm pretty sure it's a comics thing, most likely. But it kind of follows a little bit on that, because, and also there's a little bit between Theo trying to get closer with Bruce, kind of leading to more of him being able to have the opportunity to take Bruce Wayne and whatever they have truly planned for him. Which I have to say, I like how they're making Theo into the main threat rather than seeing stuff jumbled around. It seems like more focused on one thing. You see these other people come in, but you always see that main focus from the season. Which, I have to say, that's one of the strong points from this season so far, I'd have to say. But, yeah, that's pretty much a gist of the episode. That final scene, you see that Firefly is alive, and you see that she's going through some facility owned by Wayne Enterprises, which it almost seems like a sort of Cadmus Labs, like they're experimenting on people. So I think this might be a lead into other Batman villains that we know of. I mean, there's none I can technically say spot on who they are, because, I mean, some wore bandages. It could just be bandages because, they're being experimented on. So hopefully we get a little bit more hints in the future on what they are exactly doing with these people. Hopefully. But this episode, I did notice one Easter egg that I saw spot on when they're talking about all the stuff that they would want to put on Butch's hand. And one said a little chainsaw, which that is a reference to Ashley Williams from the original Evil Dead series, which at one point he cut off his hand and he put a chainsaw in place. So, and me being a fan of that, I just got goosebumps for it, and yeah, that's how I spotted it right away. But like I said before, this was a very great episode. I hope it continues on this great path. And I'm looking forward to probably the most what leads into for the stuff on Wayne Enterprises in that last scene in the episode. Because that definitely makes me excited to see who we might see in this season that we have not been hearing about. But that's pretty much my thoughts. Let me know yours down in the comments below, as well as any predictions you would have for this season. And also, remember, Saturday is Halloween. And for Saturday, if you watch my Saturday reviews, I will be dressing up as Dr. Gregory House, because I'm going to be dressing up like that for work, which they allow us to dress up. So expect to see me be house-like on Saturday. But you can check out my other reviews, Arrow, The Flash, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., all that great stuff and more. And maybe if you message me on Facebook, we could share opinions on Supergirl, because I do not plan on reviewing the show, not because I hate it or anything, but just I really wouldn't have the time for it. But, and my name is Jimmy, and until next time, bye.